Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network.
Welcome to Rethink Politics. It's Chaz in the house. It's been a crazy week. I'm glad we're recording. We got Mike. How you doing?
What's going on? Yeah, crazy week. You're right. We lost out on a lot of stuff.
Well, not really, because we got some breaking news to give to give everybody.
True.
Just today.
True. Yeah.
Just today. And then not even the breaking news from earlier today, but more breaking news that happened later in the day regarding the memo thing. We got E. How you doing?
Yo, look, when you say this breaking news today, I mean, by the time someone's listening to this, there's probably something else, and then there's something else.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right
So,
now. Can you believe what just happened? It's just something brand new. That's the Trump White House. Mm-hmm.
Right. And, look, I listen to the episodes, and the last one, I've just been in. Mike, he always gets on me because I just have a bad habit of thinking things from my perspective. And he's like, look, not everyone is like you. He's just like, you have to think, you have to, it's a bell curve. So you have to move back to the median, I guess. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because you can go to the far left, but realize you went way too far. But then you over adjust and you be like, shit, I'm still on the wrong side. But if you hit that middle sweet spot, once you hear shit's going wrong, you gotta yep, that's right, let me stay where I'm at. Otherwise, you keep falling on the wrong end.
Yeah, so I think we all seen the government shutdown coming. Well, first I want to ask E. I mean, how did that impact you personally?
Well, I mean, we saw it coming weeks out. So, working for a government contractor, they give us a heads up, and that's pretty common when you work for a government contractor, at least in the DC area. So weeks out, we were getting, these company emails letting everyone know, get ready, how you need to enter your timesheet, all the stuff. But so all of a sudden, we get the word, check your email over the weekend on Saturday, and boom, it happened. I wasn't really sure it was going to happen because I thought the Democrats were going to, mess it up. Yeah. We can get back. Talk about
we
that
definitely got to get back to it.
But the shutdown actually did affect a lot of people. And luckily, with the company I work for, the government agency that I contract with on the project that I work on, they were funded for an additional week, probably anticipating the idea that this could happen.
Right.
So
that's smart. So they basically wrote a government shutdown into the contract.
Yeah. So it's one of those deals where it was only 3 days. So by the time that Monday came, I thought I was going to have to work, just seeing how everything was going back and forth, how much apparently Schumer was talking to apparently Trump and whoever, and then by the middle of Monday, they were already talking about everything was coming back. So, so I was back to work on Tuesday. No, well, let me just take a step back. I was already working, but I was kind of, seeing what's going to happen, because if nothing was going to happen by Friday, then I was going to be waiting, on hold. All projects stop work is what they call it.
Right.
So, that was kind of my perspective. I know people that were literally on furlough and they just were not working at all. And
because a lot of it went over to the weekend, and there's a lot of jobs that, it's not a Monday through Friday shit. It's, work is work. But I know, and so that was good news to hear that you didn't get affected in that way. But I think the segue that you alluded to is where I'm so upset about. And
Mike,
go ahead.
Mike, I think there's two sides, because let's talk about Democrats.
That's where I was going.
But that's what I'm saying. So I want to, before you're about to just jump on him, and I already know what you're about to say, but before you go there,
right.
Okay, let's say Mike is the leadership. You're running the Democratic Party, right? and you're saying here's a spin that I heard. Democrats were worried about the messaging, quote unquote, and Republicans were saying, look, Democrats are putting immigrants before Americans. That's what the shutdown is about.
Yeah, illegal
Yeah,
immigrants.
illegal immigrants and DACA and everything. And how if you're a Democrat, how confident are you that people understand every step of what happened to get to that point? So it's like, oh wait, the liberals support illegal immigrants before they support me. I don't like that. So if Republicans are hitting you from that side, how do you respond? And how would you respond to messaging, and how would you respond in political, in terms of
right? Well, I just look. You don't really have to, because they own the government. Like, if you want to put ownership on it, you have the majority, just Republican on every level, obviously from the House to the Senate to the presidency. And so the only rebuttal that Republicans had was that everyone knows you need 60 votes for the Senate to pass, so we need Democrats, so therefore the Democrats are the ones shutting down the government. And the polling that was going on throughout the whole shutdown, before and after, was saying that the onus was on the Republicans. Right. So, I don't think the Democrats had a good feel or a good pulse of their own. Forget their base, just the country as a whole. I don't think they understood. You're right that they were listening to the message, but they were probably listening to that message too much, that they were the ones shutting down the government, and that they're shutting down the government because of illegal immigrants and not for their own, American citizens, yada, yada, whatever the, bullshit they were saying. So, I mean, to me, I think it's kind of weak that they even, well, I'll let you rant about.
So, I'm not even worried about that message, because that message just pissed me off that they just gave in. And I get why, because they never want to feel like they're the wrong one. So my issue is not that the fact that the message was there, that they were either afraid or felt pressured on. It's what I'm finding, that they're still trying to stay in power based on what their own message is. So even when new Democrats is coming up saying, look, y'all don't have the guts, y'all don't have anything to stand up and go against this government that we have right now, so we're going to come in. So they're not putting any money into anyone that doesn't sound like them or who doesn't partner with them. So, it's giving me that feeling, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going that far left or right, that we did need a change. We needed a fucking obvious change, because the Democrats are now, because the media is digging into everybody, you're finding that the Democrats is just as fucked up within their own party, but they trying to play like they're more holier than thou. Like, no. We take care of the people. Nah, you're taking care so you can stay in power, and you pushing everybody back.
Yeah, but then, okay, so how? Okay, first of all, I agree with you, because I feel like they should have held out at least a week. You know what I mean? Just
at a minimum.
Yeah, just let them know that you're serious about this.
Yep.
Let the country feel it.
Yep.
And make sure your message is known, and then play it by ear, and then make Mitch McConnell agree that he would have to bring it to the table or bring it to a vote, the whole immigration debate, because I'm trying to play it out like, okay, so what happens if the Democrats held it out a little longer? Let's just say it went to a week. Let's say it went to 2 weeks. Let's just, hypothetically speaking, then like maybe they didn't know how to play it. Maybe they were afraid that the Republicans are right. If they say from the very beginning that this is the Democrats' fault, they keep pushing it. The fact that they do need 60 votes becomes simple constitutional, logic.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like, maybe the fear there was that if they continue to push it and they don't waver and they just kind of sit on what their foot is already at when they're putting their foot down, it's kind of.
But isn't that's the situation we've been under with the Democrats anyway, that they don't want to look bad in anything they do. They don't want to talk shit. They don't want to do anything because I know I'm the angelical one, but yet you're doing so much shit behind people's back, and when it's coming out now, they're kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're overthinking it. That's all it is. They're playing the nice guy. Actually, that's exactly what it is. It's the nice guy role, versus the asshole that gets the play. It's almost like you just need to, they just need to. I don't. You know what I mean? It feels like they're not even like confident in what they want to say.
Basically, they need to butch up. They need to
ball. They need to. Man up. It's a bunch of.
Okay, like look, not everyone knows what happened, so y'all want to give a quick recap of the deal Schumer made, quote unquote. We'll say quote unquote deal.
Yeah.
The promise.
The 8-day promise? Oh, what was it?
Mitch McConnell will promise to bring a vote to something, or
to DACA before
he made a promise.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
he said, so we're gonna give a promise, we're gonna take care of this immigration thing, so by the time we get back we can vote for the extension on the budget, and this will be ready too. So he promised to say we will talk about it, but that's not a guarantee. And then they added more shit to the budget, like the fucking wall, like more stuff for the military, and they was adding stuff while the Democrats was sitting there just holding on to the DACA issue, and then they didn't even hold on to that.
Well, hold on, because what happened later on is again the Democrats listening too much to their to what the media is saying. Later on, Schumer went out and said the border wall is off the table. So that's no longer on the table now. Even though in the beginning, when they were doing their back and forth and they were talking to Trump and they were saying he'll give him the money to get the wall as long as DACA was in the conversation. But now Schumer's saying that the border is now off the table completely. So when they get to this vote, I think it's February 8th. Is that next week? Is it?
Yeah. It's going to be soon. Yeah, basically, they bought themselves about 3 weeks between the next possible shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying there probably isn't going to be much talk anyway, because you got your State of the Union that's coming up. Or by the time you listen to this, you probably already heard the bullshit that Trump's already saying. But then you got, I heard that there's a recess that Congress has. I don't know if it's the House and or Senate. I don't know. But that's after the State of the Union. So much, like a week and a half is going to go by where there's not much discussion because everyone's preparing for other things or just left the house or So you fast forward.
But they go back to the States and have to deal with what the fuck he said.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Right. So, I mean, by the time they bring this discussion back up, this whole shutdown, budgeting, it's going to happen again. It's just going to be now Schumer. I think, let's think about it differently. Now Schumer knows, what the conversation is. Now maybe he has a better feel now what he can do. So now he knows, okay, all right, now I brought the immigration debate on the table. Republicans hate that because, they're all pretty, I want to say they're all racist, but,
Don't be that general, not all.
But I mean, starting from the top, you got Trump that's obviously against immigration, which is ridiculous. United States, but that's a whole other.
And the fact that his wife, that's what I'm saying before. I don't know what's going on because, dude, he loves the Russians. Yeah, wasn't his last wife? She was,
but it's certain immigrants though.
Oh, he likes true. He likes Europeans.
It's just certain. Yeah, he loves Europeans.
Okay.
Anyone. He loves the Finland and Swedish and all of them as well. Because he think they're
Norway's, Norwegian.
Yeah. Please come to our country because I love the way you.
But once you start going to Spain,
Greece.
Morocco.
Darko. But yeah, so to me, when you say you losing faith in government, you seeing it. And big up to the press who's saying, look, when the Democrats are fucking up, I'm putting this shit out here too. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it out here.
Yeah.
And you should though, because
yeah.
it's not fair to be on that one side. You know, you have all of the Trump haters, and then you have all the Democrat haters, and then so I'm like in the middle, because there's things on the Republican side or conservative side, not Republican, on the conservative side that I'm all in on. But I'm also all in on the liberal side, because there's people who's been put in a position that has never had an opportunity because of the systemic racism and white supremacy. I totally aware of that.
Yeah.
But I'm very conservative when you have the opportunity to do better.
Now, I have a question for y'all, because this is just like someone at work posed a question. And this was, as everyone knows probably by now, Trump allegedly cheated on Melania with the porn star.
With the porn star, yeah.
And, for the record, the evangelicals are still with Trump despite that, which is, another story. And his attitude was, do they not have anything else to talk about? And I thought about it, because on one hand, I'm like, to me, it's a crazy story. More so, like, obviously, if someone cheats, that's their relationship, or, like, how does it impact me? I think that's a fair point. If the president of the United States does some crazy stuff, whether it be Bill Clinton or Trump, how does that impact politics or anybody? And I was just thinking, from your perspective, from like what defines, in this Trump thing, there's so much craziness and outrage. What defines like something, a story that's important versus a story that is not? Like, for example, Rex Tillerson saying, or someone saying the president is a dope. Is that
is that news?
Yeah, is it salacious, or is it actual? Here's why, because you know what I'm saying. I just want you guys' take on that.
Well, I'll just give my. So yeah, I think. Well, first of all, if the State Department, if what do you call it? I'm sorry, the Secretary of State, if he's saying that the president,
is a moron.
That's like imagine Biden saying that the president is an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I know that's right next to him, but go one level below that. That's you're right next to the president. He's 2 steps away from the president. And,
just say say Hillary would have said it.
Yeah, if Hillary had said it, with is it John Kelly? With
Condoleezza?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. It's one of those,
that position.
Yeah, that's right next to the president. So yeah, that's news. Now the porn star stuff, I see. To me, I kind of see it as the porn star thing is, first of all, it's a lot of money, $130,000, by his lawyer. Use the money to keep her quiet to get through the election. You know what I mean? So there's a connection. I think what I remember reading the report is that the problem isn't what he did; it's the money being moved across. It's the money kind of shows something. But I don't know what you guys know in terms of legalities and how that works.
So I'll inject real quick on that. I tried not to even listen to any of that, and the reason why, honestly, I didn't, because I knew within this, and we talked about this the last episode, was we're getting to a point that certain things don't even matter anymore. So,
what do you mean?
Hints of maybe there was something that he had a woman on the side, and you had to get out of fucking government. You really had to. You had to either shame yourself and do something. Now it doesn't really matter. And if he shuns it off, like, so what? Yeah, I fuck women all the time. Yeah, I'm married, but I do it all the time. What do you want me to say? And you kind of like, I want you to say, I'm fucked up and get the hell out of government. But not.
But you have to say it, though. You have to. The media has to say it at least. They can move on to the next topic, but you have to put it on record out there, because then what happens when the next thing pops up, and then we found out he shot somebody in his, or, and they covered it up,
And he was like, he had to get shot. Don't.
You had to get.
How many of you out here have guns? And then he goes into the NRA and.
So wait.
Well, what I'm saying
Trump
is gonna be out there though, because then.
So, Trump gonna come out there like Nino Brown from New Jack City and the shades and the little hat. He could, I shot that motherfucker.
Well, they got to put it on record, right? I mean, the public needs to just know, because at the end of the day, this is all temporary. This 4 years is gonna come up, and then all these stories are gonna rack up, shit that you would have never known before. So you just have to do it. I mean, I think you're right. There should be consequences to all of this, but.
Right. But
I mean, I think it's going to
being
eventually
normalized. The thing is like they said,
problem.
and that's the real problem. I'm not saying it shouldn't be reported. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't report that shit because it means nothing. I'm saying yes, you should be building a record of this shit, because all of it together is going to mean something. Not the one thing, or we waiting for the one smoking gun. I think it's everything with this dude. But I think when he went overseas to talk to all of the
Davos.
Yeah, Davos.
Was it? Yeah.
And the media was saying what made it feel bad was the fact that people applauded this man who's done so much wrong, and to the world, it's normalizing him by applauding him. You're really saying, you know what, you may say something right now, so I'm going to applaud that because I think you got right intentions. But yet you knew what this guy did. And they was like, you can't keep normalizing a dictator in this way, because it allows him to think that whatever he does is okay.
Yeah, he's good. He or she is good.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like anything about that whole thing.
No.
They were saying how the crowd was trying to shove their way in to see what Trump had to say. Even like other world leaders were doing that just to hear what Trump had, good or bad. They just want to see it like entertainment, But
a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle.
Yeah, and then all it does is it just feeds his ego. He doesn't know any different, whether it's good or bad. Obviously, it's good. They're coming to see me.
Yep.
And that's all that it is. It's the same. I mean, hell, the whole porn star thing, the fact that we're talking about it, he probably thinks, hell yeah, fuck the porn star.
Yeah, how many
of
y'all have fucked the porn star? How many?
Right, yeah.
And it's like,
yeah,
but you're not 22. You know what I'm saying? Dude is like 70.
But in his mind, he thinks he's at any age he wants to be. That's the immaturity of this guy that they're constantly saying. It's books now. It's people in the room who's coming out of the room is like, are you fucking kidding me? Were you in the room with me? Yeah, he's like that all the time. But you go in there every day. Are you kidding me?
And that's where, and that's why I brought up the question, because it just made me think from my perspective, what do you focus on and what's important? Because just to bring you guys back, after the election, there was protest after protest after. There was just people didn't know what to do. And you already knew, you can predict that there's going to be some fatigue and burnout. And I haven't been in a protest personally in a while. So I'm just kind of like, it's just to your point. Yeah, it's like, where do you focus what do you target?
Electing officials that will say no. That's how you do it. And that's why
exactly
it pisses me off with the Democrats.
That's hard. Everybody getting caught up for assault.
Right. So, but let's look at these other issues, because I think, again, I'm frustrated at the government as a whole, because we're just allowing too much to go on. We're allowing the change. We got the wrong change going on. We don't have the change to be better, and we don't even have sides. The only one that's probably on our side the most is the Supreme fucking Court, and there are majority Republicans up in there, and they're saying, look, the law says you can't fucking do that. And they was like, oh, these officials, we're going to take this to the Supreme Court. And they were like, man, get this out of here. They're the only one that's really, because Congress can't check because you got the majority Republican. But the fact that, and I want to, segue into the Mueller. He wanted to fire this dude. He said it last
June. Early. Like
Oh, what?
Immediately.
They got a special fire that motherfucker. No, we can't do that, sir. No, fire him. Look, I'm telling you, it's gonna hurt your president. No, fuck it. I'm gonna quit then. You sure you're gonna quit? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking quit. All right, don't fire him.
Because I want to pause. Could you imagine being the lawyer of a sitting president who has a high probability of facing an impeachment case? Like, do you want that?
No.
Do you want to deal with that?
I wouldn't. But what circumstances are these people still hanging around though?
The money, the billing has to be ridiculous. I just assumed at this point, there can't be any partisanship. It's just kind of like, hey, they have to be just, it's money. And then after that, we worked on the Trump case. Could you imagine if they're going to be the new OJ, like they're going to be the new Johnny Cochran? They get that motherfucker off.
Yeah,
it's like, we got Trump off. We can do anything.
I get it if you're a lawyer and you work for Trump, or not even Trump, just for the White House in general, because you get so many cases. You know, you get those points just by beating the unbeatable. That's pretty much what, the challenge of being a lawyer is. So I get that, but if you're just a regular state official, you're White House PR person, and everything you're saying is just getting destroyed because that's what the media say. That I don't get. I also think, we mentioned this in the last podcast, but it's a resume builder. These people, they're going to start trickling out. They're going to get their year and then change, maybe 2 years. But it's about a year when they start resigning and they start heading out. And that's why I think it's going to start happening. It's just slow.
But like the deputy FBI guy, he's going to go out and people are going to warn him because he's leaving like, fuck y'all. So he's a hero. But the people who came and say, oh, my time is up and I'm leaving, that sounds like you was still okay what the fuck was going on, and you just kind of left when it was your time. Well, people like him have been like, yo, you know what, I am fucking out of here. Y'all just been jumping all over me for shit to do illegally. I just can't do this no more. No, I'm just done with
So
this.
What's the story with the FBI deputy director, on Andrew McCabe? So he stepped down.
Yeah, he's supposed to have been leaving in March.
Oh, okay.
So he allegedly said, look, I'll give you the time. I'm leaving in March. But the pressure, because all of this stuff is coming out, and they wanted him to do certain things, and they trying to blame everyone but the people who want to do things illegally. He was like, I'm done. And I'm like, you could hang out a little too long. Maybe he was getting your money together, and I get that.
Well, he was there way before, right? Wasn't he? He was there through the Obama thing, and then, I mean, somebody's got to take over the FBI.
Well, did you read the article? I feel like he did like the union thing. He did like I'm gonna stay until I get my pension.
Oh, see, I didn't read it all, so I glanced.
I just saw something about.
The next thing came out was what? Remember the other part? The other part was the Congress said they're going to investigate the Mueller people that was the FBI people that was doing some
talking
fucked up shit. No, there was some other people who did some other shit wrong other than the texting people.
Wait, what happened?
Let me see if I can find that shit.
Oh, wait, I missed that story.
Is that part of the memo?
Yeah, I just thought
that was the memo one. Let me see.
Okay, so they're voting to or they voted to release a memo alleging FBI wrongdoing.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is crazy because the FBI has historically been a conservative institution, dating back to obviously post. I mean, you look at what they did to the Black Panthers and just groups in general. Their MO is to infiltrate and just any threat that's considered to institutions.
So check this shit out. It says Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee apparently disregarded the Justice Department warnings that their actions would be extraordinarily reckless. Voted Monday evening to release a contentious secret memorandum said to accuse the department and the FBI of misusing their authority to obtain secret surveillance order on a former Trump campaign associate. See, something totally different. I'm totally different. They're attacking the people who are not pro-Trump.
Right.
Which is setting a dangerous precedent.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Right? So if a Democrat gets in and he's crazy and reckless like fuck, they can't do anything about it because they say, "Oh no, remember this," and then they're gonna just go on and on and on and on, and it's just gonna continue from that.
And it's like, where's the checks and where's the balances? And that's where I'm saying I'm just drawing a blank because this is just so. But then again, from my perspective, I'm thinking like just how government should work. But at this point, I think we can all agree most people are just catering to a base. So Trump's thing when he does his rallies is his base. Republicans, when they do this crazy shit, it's kind of like, what will the voters think? And the voters think, well, the Democrats or an FBI, there's a conspiracy. Then what are the consequences? It's kind of why not?
Here's what's going on. So Devin Nunes is the Republican that put together that memo.
And he's on the
intelligence.
What's it called? Right? Intelligence Committee. Okay, yeah. He's is he the crazy guy?
What's the crazy one? I forget the whole story before, but he was on that Intelligence Committee, and then I believe that he recused himself because.
That's that guy.
Yeah.
But so for some reason, I didn't even know about the memo until weeks ago. But apparently, he put together this memo because I guess once he was not a part of the Russia thing, he decided to just start a whole nother agenda or mission to do this memo. So now the memo, and I think it's been going on for like a month now. We're just now hearing about it because Fox has been trying to push it for a minute. So what I think is going on is you have these career people with the FBI. I'm talking career people. They're not Republicans. They're not Democrats. They are literally salaried people that have just been doing this for decades. You know, kind of like the Andrew McCabe guy. So you got the FBI who is being attacked. That's the right word by the White House and Republicans in the House and Senate. Then you also have the Department of Justice, DOJ, that is saying, if you better not release this memo because that is classified information, you know, basically saying it's reckless if you do that. And that's the direction that they're going. These are career like agencies that are just, they're like, look, I don't care what party you're on. What you're doing is what you're not supposed to do. Like, we don't do that in this country. That's not part of the rule. You're breaking the rules by doing this. And I think the right word is reckless, pretty much.
Reckless,
That's a quote unquote. That's actually what they said at DOJ. So that's what I think is going on. So that's the checks and balances that's supposed to be in the works right now.
Supposed to though, but you got dudes stepping down. So my thing is, first of all, what are the implications for the case, the obstruction case, if you got another head of the FBI stepping down within a calendar year? When has that ever happened?
And it's because of and I'm going to keep with that damn word, the recklessness of the White House doing certain things to prove them right and to shut down people who's going against them. Mm-hmm. This is that whole attempt. And I'm going back to what you said. I mean, glad we got a reference point. But what you said, E, last time is these Republicans seem to have to keep quiet. Not want to, but have to. And it's kind of like, I can't say shit. You know, I was in the room. I can't say shit. Oh, he told us this, but I may or may have not signed some shit to say, I'm going to help you if you help me. And they're just standing on the sidelines on certain occasions, and other times they're saying, go for that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought our government was, you know, for the people, by the people, which is bullshit. But at least ethically, you know what I mean? And morally and the
I wouldn't even say ethically. I would just say, like, look, I know you're gonna take a payoff. You're gonna have lobbyists or whatever donate, but it's the difference between there's bad, there's evil, and then there's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're just crazy. Like right now, like a bad guy isn't an evil guy. You know what I'm saying? A bad guy will just he'll theoretically, like we watched Den of Thieves the other day, this weekend, right? And that's the little heist movie. Dope movie, by the way. Mike, I'm sure you're gonna do a review. Oh, you're not? Ah, boo. But anyway, it's kind of like you have Robin Hood. Robin Hood is bad because he's still robbing motherfuckers, but he's not evil. Evil is, do something that's fucked up.
Oh, you're robbing people and shooting them all in the head.
Yeah, and then there's just crazy. You're robbing people, shooting them in the head,
and then dragging them in the street.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like Mad Max type shit. So we're kind of like,
what's going on?
Yeah, it's just, and that's what I'm saying before. I'm like, we're trying to do some analysis, and it's like, what? You just think of the logic shit. Like if I'm a Republican, I'm in the room with Trump. I just gotta be like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker's on The Apprentice. And he got the nerve to talk shit.
I know.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the analogy is, I think there's a comedian who was saying, don't you hate when people who used to be addicted to drugs are holier than now? I was like, shut the fuck up. You was sucking dick a month ago. And it's kind of like the same idea of, who
the fuck
like,
are you?
You talking shit?
Who the fuck are
you?
So here's my question. I'm going to go back to this question again. So,
okay.
Is government changing? Is politics changing and this is what it will be? Or
we don't know.
But if you look at the reaction, even with the
reaction of Republicans, though,
the Democrats as well. The Democrats are showing you that they got their own corrupt shit. They trying to keep those same people in power that they want in power. They don't want anything
versus
new. They don't
versus grassroots.
They really don't want that because Obama claimed that he was grassroots until they start saying, "Look, you're going to be our man." And he was kind of like, I'm going to be me. I'm gonna be me, but I'll be your man.
Because you can still see, the friction. Like Obama is not really, when you look at him versus like the people who run the DNC is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're
pretty different.
Different is a good word.
Because they're not as, you use the word crazy, but they're not as crazy as that. As the Republicans do just crazy shit. You got
they're not crazy, but they're kind of bad.
As the vice president, she has no experience whatsoever, but she has a look. That's
Palin.
just fucking crazy. And to put this man in power, that's a crazy move. And the things that they're doing is still freaking
that failed
crazy.
Though. That one failed. And you're right that they do crazy shit, but they tried that and that didn't work. You know what I mean? It wasn't even. Damn, I forget the senator. McCain's fault.
You talking about Palin?
Yeah.
Well, just if you just remember though, okay, like September, October, November, around September, October, whenever he made the announcement, he was up. She was this quirky Alaskan chick, but then they started doing their interviews and they was like,
crazy. Hence the word crazy.
I think they had a falling apart though. I think that actually, like literally, McCain and Palin actually, if you see those little documentaries or whatever, they were actually beefing behind the scenes. So they weren't really on the same page when they were doing
different agendas.
Well, she was a political. Exactly. It was a stunt. She was like, "This will get him. Yeah. Got him. This is my co-star."
It would have worked if they were on the same page, but.
She would have just shut up long enough. All she had to do was shut up long enough.
Just make it 60 days.
With the gun and everything, it would have been exactly what Trump's doing, except she would have been the deer hunter kind of version of whatever he is, versus the millionaire. But I mean, I think part of the problem is that so Republican is winning by they have a message, you know what I mean, and they're louder and people hear them more than they Democrats. But they're also doing that by, they are, they're daredevils. They don't mind doing that, because they don't give a shit. So it's and then by numbers too, because they are the majority. So there's more of them, but there's no excuse for Democrats to not have like I feel like I don't ever hear the Democrats. I haven't heard Schumer's voice like months until the shutdown. Like I don't, I mean, you hear his name maybe here and there, but I don't know what he's saying. You know, it's the
Like
top.
you would think at this point there would just be
Yeah,
every day The Apprentice, Grabbing by the Pussy, Porn Star, Russia. Just you know what I'm
right.
saying? Just signs and they're not
It's
being
okay. It's okay
Yeah.
because that's what everything is coming about. It's they stand up and lie and say, "Hey, you know what? There was millions of people at the inauguration, more than at the Obama, and they still saying."
And you know why they
that.
get
And you
by
see
though.
pictures.
You know how they get away with it because they're all on the same page. Like I swear they have a meeting every morning. They have their top heads. They have like secret committees, and then they probably all get on the phone. All get on the phone.
secret committees.
Yeah, and then they just all right,
So this send
today
out like
don't talk about
email.
Stormy Daniels, and that's all it is on the text. And then they all
Yep.
know don't bring her up, don't bring her up. And then it's because they have to be. I mean, it just makes sense. And okay, so that's just them being on the same page. That's one. The other is I feel like the Democrats don't have
Yeah.
personalities. Like nobody is like actually. They're all to
That's
the book.
that's
You know
my
what I mean?
point. That's
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Like in terms of you have the Obama, the guy where you like the Obama got interviewed by
Letterman, yeah.
what's his Letterman, and it's like he's just like, oh shit,
yeah.
I gotta check that out on Netflix, right? But I'm like, who else from the Democratic Party would I say they have an interview? Like maybe Donna Brazile,
who-
only because she's gonna talk shit. That's what I'm saying. Who else would I want to?
Nope.
I don't want to see Hillary at
She
this
was on
point.
the
No
damn
offense,
Grammys
but
last night.
Hold up. Yeah. Hold on. No, Chaz, no, that's a good point. All right. So, because that's what it used to be. It used to be somebody would sit down and you'd be like, I want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah, a Pelosi.
yeah, maybe
Nah.
Joe Biden, but it's kind of like you feel Joe kind of lost some steam with what
But
happened
see,
last time.
Joe wasn't. He's not a conversational person. He's a more of a.
Off
Yep.
on the cuff.
So you need him
yeah.
to jump in. You don't need for him to sit down. You need to open the door. Oh,
But
here
I'm-
he comes.
But that's my point. So besides Obama, who else would you want to hear just articulate?
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody.
Oh, okay. What up, Elizabeth Warren? Maybe.
Maybe.
Whoa,
But I've already
whoa.
heard her.
She's still specific things. There's specific things that you want to hear from her. There's
That's
not
true.
a
The same
lot
for
of
Bernie.
General things that she can talk about that will keep you captivated.
Okay, so that's the question from last week. Who else can win? Because the same question of who'd you want to hear.
I said.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, give Obama a blonde wig and change his name to like Luke.
No, but no, honestly though, but there could be people out there that just not getting any airtime.
Oh,
They're just not getting it.
Joe Kennedy. He's gonna give
Wait, who's that?
the alternative response. You think
Who's
he's
that?
gonna?
Who is that?
Who gives a damn about Joe Kennedy? Though?
Nah.
He's
Joe
He's
Kennedy.
giving
No
the
more
State of the
Kennedy.
Union.
No more Clinton. No more Bushes.
Who fucking cares?
No Trumps.
No more Bushes. No, what's the other? Rockefeller.
okay. So
want-
who else then? That's my point.
Yeah. I mean,
No fucking body.
I want Daryl
Obama
Joseph,
come
some
back.
random dude to just pop up. Jerome Williams. I want him to pop
Yeah,
up.
some
Oh,
random dude,
so
red sweater man.
Steve,
you know.
Steve Democrat
Yeah.
face from
That
Arkansas.
said that one thing that one time, and you can't believe he said that, but I like that. I want to hear more of that guy. Come on, Jerome Williams, let's go.
Jose
What do
Yeah,
you
let's
think?
hear more from him. You know,
Jose Jackson, the Democrat or Puerto Rican
Yeah.
from New York.
Yeah,
so those are our choices. Unless you say, "Hey, here's Bloomberg." Oh, you want to hear what Bloomberg got to say? Because Bloomberg, mayor of New York. Look, I ain't taking shit from nobody. Let's hear what this dude got to say. But he don't want to be involved in that. I think he got so much skeletons in his shit. I think he's fine though. He said, if y'all could keep letting him do
No,
that,
he's a Republican.
I'm good.
Bloomberg.
No, he's a
Independent.
conservative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he ran as
independent conservative.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you got to really break it away now, because there's Republicans and then there's Republican conservatives. they take the Republican off the top of it now. Now they're saying they're just
think that's smart,
conservatives.
Because I mean, I've always seen myself as kind of an independent. Like I'm not just going to label myself a Democrat just because, every single time in my life I just always agreed with what Democrats, say. I kind of like want to stay open because I mean, hell, Bernie Sanders was independent. You know what I mean? What if he ran on his own? I would have wanted him. You know what I'm saying? Or if it put Bernie next to as an independent, put Kasich, as a Republican, and then put Clinton as a Democrat. Then you know what I'm saying? Then you sit down and think, okay, Bernie, Kasich, Hillary, who are you voting for? And that's kind of like I'm probably going independent. Some people,
but I would
Democrats might. I mean, I kind of like Kasich if he had won versus Hillary. I mean, that's just my opinion. But because I wasn't too crazy about what Hillary, how she was handling things. That's just my opinion about Kasich. But I knew he wasn't going to win. That's a whole other topic. But yeah.
But see, you would have took Kasich under any of the other Republicans, though.
Oh yeah. That's what I really.
800%. He's keyword reasonable. Reasonable.
Which is kind of lowering the bar, right? You just.
No, actually, it's not. I think because he's not a flaming Republican, I think that's the kind of Republican that you can say, I will deal with as a Democrat or independent. That's the right type of person you want to
like. You can,
yeah.
Well, how about this? You can partner with him with legislation and policy. He's going to be a good partner.
Great partner. Yep. And I think he will surround himself with people who he will make them, hey, look, we need to partner and get shit done. So I think he does that. So this is where I'm saying, just the rethink politics things is, except for jumping on one side to the other, if you stay in the middle and teeter toward what helps everyone, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. But you don't know who's the right person for that, because if you take the cover away and Kasich actually killed a man and actually is gay, what's going to happen then? Mm-hmm. Then you're going to be like, oh, shit. I didn't. What?
I mean, yeah. I mean, with Kasich, it's kind of one of those deals where if it happened to be, if it was, if I didn't like the other side, if I didn't like the Democrat, which is rare, and then I had to choose. That's why, to me, Kasich, I liked what he had to say, but that was versus, okay, Bernie didn't win. Like, all right, let me see what he had to say. Oh, well, I like what he's saying versus, that's kind of what that was. So to me, that's why I see it as lowering the bar.
But, yeah. Kasich is a guy, though, if you say, we're going to interview Kasich, 30-minute interview, like, okay,
but he's still
I would watch.
I'd
be curious.
I would watch because he's Republican,
though, man. Like,
but I'm saying, but that's my point. Well, so on the Republican side, that's who I'd actually tune in for him specifically. So, on the Democratic side,
Cory Booker show up. I think he was on the media talking about something.
Oh, he was on the Sunday shows. I missed it. No, I didn't see it. Man.
He didn't give
he wasn't hitting
me
anything. He
feels
phony. He
wasn't.
I don't feel like, I'm just being 100. I don't think he's as genuine as he may portray. I think he feels like a politician to me. I feel that he believes most of the stuff he's saying, but he's playing a role. Like, he seems like the type that if he came and you were sitting down talking, like, he would do the presidential thumb and, bite the bottom lip and this is what I think. And it's like, nah, bro, like, I want to know. Yeah, right, yeah.
You're corny.
Yeah, you're corny as fuck. Yeah.
And now that I'm in Jersey, I hear about how he doesn't really understand the streets of Jersey. That's a whole nother conversation. But we can get into that. I need to learn more. But I'm in Jersey. But I keep hearing about how he doesn't really know.
Get your facts.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
man on the street. Man on the street.
I know people in Jersey now. They're just saying they're not really even sold on him.
Who are these? Are these like hood politicians? I heard of Cory Booker doesn't know the
fucking he goes around saying that he's in the streets. When you have to listen to what he's saying, because he's talking like
Oh, he literally says he's in the streets.
He used to say that. Oh yeah, I was in the projects and I was grabbing babies off the sidewalk that they left, and he was saying all types of shit.
What?
Just listen to what he says.
Like, damn, he's in Newark. Yeah.
So he sounded like how white savior white people talk about the hood.
Yeah, that's how he was. But because he was black and he was articulate,
he got a pass.
White people said, "Wow,
okay,
that's pretty good for her."
And black, so he got a pass on both sides. Okay, understood.
Light skin privilege too, so that worked.
So he's like opposite.
Sorry.
He's like bad Obama.
I mean, let me do my research and get back. Let me get in the streets to see what they say out here. But I'm not hearing people out here like, yeah, that's the one. I mean, if you went to Chicago and you heard about Obama, shit. I mean, he was already president to them, but out here, I'm not hearing that. So,
right.
He's still president.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's fair. So he should be getting like the hometown treatment of this is the guy. Okay, so basically, Democrats may be fucked for 2020.
You getting again. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a celebrity.
You know what? If you write about this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just throw. I don't know. I gotta like. You know when you say I'm gonna get so mad, I'm gonna throw my TV out. I'm not gonna do that. I love my TV, but I'm gonna find something cheap and low cost to break.
Fucking throw it straight out the window. Go to the top floor. Hey, I gotta come in this room real quick.
Like Mark Cuban. We're gonna have Shark Tank president.
But you know what? I'll take that. I'll fucking take that. But
shit, he gonna have a TV show of each agency, State Department. Tell me your ideas on why we should do it. They got to do pitch and shit on TV. Here's what you should do for the Middle East.
Okay. Well, I think we should separate it. No, I'm not gonna give you the money for that. No.
Would y'all do Will Smith?
Yeah, right.
Will Smith.
Hell no, man. I don't like Will Smith, man. Hey, so check this out. I got it. Off topic.
Wait, hold on, pause.
Off topic.
No, because you're gonna go to New York. You just look like, man, fuck Will Smith.
So they had this article out, and the dude sent there, and they said the greatest rapper, pretty much of all time, is Will Smith.
Who said that?
Because it was on the internet.
Okay.
But they put the facts out. This dude has been having platinum albums. He's had Grammys before anyone. He protested the Grammys when they wasn't putting rap there. He's always had #1 hits, even when he really wasn't putting #1 hits out. He became an actor. He married one of the most hottest goddamn hip hop women. Everything about him, he should be more respected as a hip hop head. I just don't like him.
Well, that's because
I don't have to like him. Though. All of that, I still don't have to like him.
You don't have to, but I mean, he's not really a rapper though.
Him.
I mean, let's be real. He's an actor. He's an entertainer.
He's an actor now, though.
But
you always remember Ice-T as a rapper, though. He's not the cop on, Law and
Order. He didn't blow up as an actor. Like.
He didn't blow up. That's true.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I feel like Tupac would have blew up as an actor if he had kept going. If
LL tried. LL.
Oh, for sure.
He's on that other stupid show.
But then that's a whole nother topic.
Anyway, sorry, got totally off topic. Sorry.
I still think he'd be a good, politician if he went that route. Maybe president.
I mean, people would vote for Will just off of his stump speeches would be dope. He would have a good.
Yeah, I don't know. He's one of those uplifting, just always positive. You're like, all right, I feel good.
Yeah, Joel Osteen without the religion and the baggage.
Joel Osteen.
Scientology.
Well, without the religion and the baggage, but yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the positivity,
Yeah.
But on the Democrat side, I mean, to Mike's point, if you say Obama already did his 2 terms, who else would get you excited? Other than a celebrity right now, a straight politician.
Like
right now, Or the next 6 months?
That's why they trying
12
to get
months?
Oprah, man. They really fucking trying to get
Who
Oprah.
who is
said
they?
no, like-
So if you look, so
Yeah.
they showed it on, because I've been trying to follow this because my wife makes me look at it. But they're constantly, they showed, what's her name, when they said she wasn't going to run, Hillary. Oh, I'm not going to run. She said it twice. Ass ran twice. They showed,
True.
well, I'll never be running for president. He fucking won.
His ass ran like 3-4 times.
And he fucking won this time. And they showed a couple of people who was kind of like, nah, I'll never do that. What's happening is, and I don't blame Oprah, pretty much, I mean, they even showed Obama, and Obama said, I'm not ready yet. He fucking ran and won. But I think what she's doing is, who's going to back me? Where's the money going to come from? Where's the swell of followers that I can feel that I can run? I know I'm going to get votes. Oprah knows she'll get votes. But will she
Devil's
win?
advocate, though. Devil's advocate. That's my point. What's her qualifications?
What's
that's
Trump's
kind of out the window now. Yeah.
Good point.
That's out the window. It's out the window now. We don't have to have that anymore, which makes this country worse than it was.
This whole conversation.
So that means
Yep.
So easy. So we
People
Kanye
vote
West.
for him. He can win.
People think crazy though. Like he's got to normalize in some kind of way. He got to be like, hey,
I
everybody.
think it's too late for that. It's entirely. And his wife going around and doing naked shit too. So, I mean, Trump wife did it. You got Kim doing that shit every year.
Yeah,
but you got to be a Republican
might be the
to be
template.
wilding out. I don't think you could be a Democrat and be on some stupid shit.
And that's why
Democrats lose.
crazy black people said, I'm a Republican. So I can do shit like that because I want my money. And it's about money when you go Republican side. It's not about really anything more than that. Most black people don't shift over because the policies are in their favor. The policies that's in their favor is based on their cash flow, their investments, and everything from that.
Well, I would be all for if Kanye was Republican. I'd vote for him.
Would you?
I want black people to start owning shit though. Like that's kind of route I'm going. Just own it.
For wealth and entrepreneurship. So that means Jay-Z.
Well, he can't even win a Grammy, dude. So
you know what I don't know if white people like him. There's something about him.
I don't think they do, man. I think they lift him up as the man.
He's too. Is he too uppity?
He's the intelligent criminal that will call your ass out, and they're like, I just don't like talking to him. He makes me feel bad. Then he may kill me. He makes me
nervous. Yeah,
and he's smart at that.
Look, like that. You know what? That's the other N word I hate.
He made me nervous.
He made me nervous. That's when people go to jail or get shot.
But so the thing is, what this episode, leading into the stuff that was going on, it just made me feel so uncomfortable because of what I'm learning more and more about the Democrats and how they can't even stand up, even for principle. The principle was, we're going to do it for a week, stop talking to me. And then every time they show, well, they said that if you want to listen to them, fine. I know what my job is. They're the majority. Thank you very much. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, the Republicans is doing this.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So,
get the fuck out of my face.
I mean, so that means at this point, we had this conversation a couple of podcasts back. The Democrats have to move farther left. So the Democrats move farther left. That means you're going to have those type of people in office who are going to say, no, we're not going to talk. We're going to hold our ground. So does that mean partisanship is we're done?
No.
I mean, for the next 10 years with being like, getting bipartisan policy.
But we haven't been that far left.
That's because the Democrats are too scared to go far left because they're trying to appease those Republicans in the middle, but they're not doing a good job of that. So I think you're right, Chaz, where you gotta go far left. You just go that direction, and then you just got to bring your team on because, like that. I mean, you just got to let time work itself and just be consistent. Just open up the country to what it was. We want everybody in. Do what Canada's doing, but do it better. Bring in immigrants You know, they always say, well,
So,
go ahead. Yeah.
well, we're looking at like realistically, we're looking at the next presidential, next 2 or 3 cycles. I'm thinking of gridlock. At least the next 2, I see gridlock being the norm, and then we may shift back in the third election from now.
Yeah, and there's a possibility. I mean, there's a possibility on that because I think we have to go extreme because that's what they did with Obama. They went extreme right. You know what I mean? This is what we're living right now. That adjustment. I think the only way to pull from that is to go extreme left and then gradually go back to the middle. I don't think you can win by just staying in the middle. Yeah. I think you got to go extreme left and then bring yourself back. The only problem
is I could just see that scaring away Republican. Not scaring, but they just cringe at the idea because they're so against immigration, they're so against crime, and I mean, everybody's against crime, but they don't understand the difference between but they don't understand the difference between like marijuana, and opioids and how long people should be in prison,
right?
And why we need to be helping foreign countries like Haiti, Puerto Ricans, I mean, there's just little things when it comes to funding and it comes to just policies that they're so far right that it's hard to, what I'm saying? You got to go one by one. It's almost like you need to teach them on a process level. Okay, all right, so what I'm saying? Like, how do you teach these Republicans in the middle that it's okay to like your fellow immigrant that wasn't born here?
So I mean, the way to do that, honestly, is what Hillary didn't
Magic
do.
School Bus episode.
The Democrats didn't do this, which is go to the heartlands and give them fucking jobs.
Give who jobs?
Those heartland people who said, well, I don't know. Like, look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring these businesses to you. We're gonna educate you, coal workers, and this is what we're gonna give you. I don't want to do that. This is what you're gonna make this kind of money with that. And once I get into office, we're gonna build it so you can get a $10,000 bonus. Once you win, you'd be like, bitch, where you gonna get $10,000 from? Who's gonna get fucking that? You just gotta sell the right thing to them, be in their face, because
that's what Hillary
going to those fucking places. The Democratic Party was like, we don't need to fucking.
You're right.
Go
Actually,
there.
you're right. Because that's what they said that Hillary didn't do. She didn't go to Michigan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things. For one, there's just kind of like the notion of 2017 into 2018, and then I'm thinking into the elections, you got to literally be like, hey, Sesame Street, like different colors are good. They got like the red Muppet and the orange Muppet, you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, yeah, it's just like, we got to teach these motherfuckers lessons and shit. And then on the other hand, I don't want to be like, fuck the heartland, but.
So you feel like, why even waste our time? Or
Yes, it's like those jobs.
That's how we lost.
No. I know what you're saying, but
no.
You have, because they're in the country too. They're American.
They're in the country too.
They are in the country.
What I'm saying is, what help can you promise and deliver? Because I'm thinking in my mind from an economic perspective. What?
So what did Trump promise him? He promised that these jobs
some horseshit.
Exactly. So try to realistically show something and start making plans with businesses. And then if they show that, they can say, you know what, Utah, you're going to get this next, but we're in North Dakota right now. What's next is South Dakota. And they'd be like,
the only thing realistically I can see is if you do some infrastructure and say, you know what, but again, it's all going to be government spending. So whether you do large infrastructure projects to fix our horse shit right now, or you just say, you know what, businesses will try to do like a strategic subsidy or a tax plan to say, hey, for every worker you hire, we'll give you have an incentive. You have an incentive to hire people and keep people.
Partner with Elon Musk and make that tunnel underneath the fucking ground that people will travel for and travel through the heartlands. So it won't take days to get to goddamn Chicago.
That's new thinking. That's not conservative. You gotta put coals down there.
So what? So
I want y'all to come to the. I'm going to bring you to the jobs. The jobs may not be here, but you can get in this train, and I'm going to bring you to the.
That's what I'm saying. So basically, you saying, look, guys, we're going to give you domestic violence, racism, and coal. You said, you know, like what other new thing?
Drugs,
like what? I know they think old, but you what else can you do realistically without giving them horse shit?
Well, I mean, you're going real
old.
far left anyway, so you're already getting away from the whole, those racists out there. You got to weed them out a little bit. You know, if I'm going to help these immigrants, that if you're not for me, then you're against me. So fuck you. You know, because I think there's wrong versus right, but they think they're right. So fuck them. You know, I'm going to help out the immigrants that actually need food and a job. You know, like, what are you arguing with? These are human beings. So you just keep moving. You know, and then you give them a job and you say, oh, by the way, you co-workers, you know, I have jobs too for you. You keep that conversation moving. Bring them together for the same cause. They think it's different. They think that they're the racists, you know, they think they're better, but they don't understand. If they don't understand, then bye, go do your thing over there. But then the actual Republicans or just conservatives in the middle that are they want those jobs. They understand. I actually do care in Michigan that I need a job and I lost my job. You know, keep that conversation going. You know, and you just have to include everybody.
I was just saying this though.
Better than them, like Hillary did.
But my issue is if you look at, and this is especially true, tech companies are just notorious for being in major cities on either coast. Like there's not many tech jobs you'll find in the center. Yeah, maybe parts of Texas, but not the typical heartland. You know, and the same thing for there's some financial jobs in like Illinois, like Milwaukee and whatnot, but I mean, like insurance,
Minnesota, but not really.
Not compared to DC, New York,
Maryland,
and you know what I mean.
Really?
So it's kind of like I'm just thinking from an employer perspective, like recruiting. Look at Amazon as a perfect example. I was like,
Amazon is not going to fucking Kansas.
Like who can you recruit? They go to like, hey, you want to go to Kansas City?
Well, you got to train.
What about Oklahoma?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I can get on Amtrak and derail and die. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
He said and die. What the fuck? Damn, Jazz. What?
Look, I'm obviously anti-train middle of the country. Yeah. If I was a president, I would send the vice president there, and I would show up sometimes to the heartland, just because
they don't want to see you anyway, though, man. You're too dark. Anybody that's that dark, they don't want to see you.
You know what?
Obama swung through.
I'll say this though. So on Tidal had January 20th was the 8-year anniversary of Obama getting sworn in. And Tidal had like his speeches, and I was listening to the Iowa thing. And Iowa, if you remember, that's really what launched his candidacy, because motherfucker was like, "Oh, he won? Well, shit, fuck Hillary. I'm a vote for the black guy." That's basically what happened.
Yeah, the black guy, I like him.
Yeah, and then all the sexists were like, "Whew, all right." I'll take the man. You know what I'm saying? So sexist and racist came together.
Yep, they came together
and voted for Obama. Well,
but again, Iowa is unique because Iowa knows who they are. They're not just Iowa. They're part of the heartbeat of the presidency.
Yeah.
They know, if anything, that's what they have. They may not have shit else in Iowa, but when it's time, people are going to come there and kiss their ass. They're going to bring money. They're going to bring all types
just because they're first. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
But,
and they're gonna milk that bitch until it's done.
But I'm just saying, I always thought for Iowa's history, that was pretty dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was smart as well.
So that said, I've always been hopeful that that not everyone in the the middle of the United States is as people are reasonable. I think real to be real, people are realistic and have real expectations, but it's just when you look at the policies and just looking at the reality, like these jobs aren't coming back. And to be honest, I'm looking at this, just thinking about the long-term view of the tax plan. I anticipate more layoffs just because that's just going to help the bottom line. And Wall Street's going to go gangbusters until another bubble hits.
More records.
Yeah.
Just break more records.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency. So, Rethink Politics. Every other. See us on Sundays or Mondays or whenever we show up. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Yep.
Peace.